Hey, this is Marilyn Gigliotti.
Hey, this is Brian O'Halloran.
Hey, everybody. My name is Scott Schiaffo, actor best known as the Chulies Gum Guy from the film Clerks.
And welcome to Clerks Minute.
You're listening to Clerks Minute.
And I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Hi, this is Mike Zapsik from AMC's Comic Book Men, the podcast I Sell Comics, and the Ming and Mike Show. And you're listening to Clerks Minute.
What's up, everybody? This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men. You got a minute? Good, because you're listening to Clerks Minute.
Hey, this is Walt Flanagan, the Lon Chaney of the 90s, and you are listening to Clerks Minute.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Clerks A Minute Beyond, the show where we look past the Clerks movies into the view through universe. And we are back to talk about the animated series. I'm Blake.
I'm Kyle.
You know, there are times to do this show, and I don't watch the Clerks Animated Series before we sit down to watch them before we do the episodes. And then there are times like this where I wonder my sanity for even doing this show, and this is one of those times. What the fuck did we just watch? Kyle, what did we just watch?
Okay, the title, and this is a mouthful.
Go for it.
A dissertation on the American justice system by people who have never been inside a courtroom, let alone know anything about the law, but have seen way too many legal thrillers.
And this is episode 4 of the Clerks Animated Series.
And, of course, and oddly enough, was the first aired.
Yeah, explain that, because that's weird.
I can't really explain that, but it seems like the network basically had no faith in the series and just wanted to dump it as soon as they could.
After one episode?
After 2 episodes, because, well,
I mean, they haven't even aired an episode yet, and they already didn't have faith in the series?
Well, because they bought it during that whole deluge of, adult animation when Family Guy came out, and they were trying to cash in, and then after all those shows bombed, they did realize they had to get rid of it somehow.
Got it.
So, they decided to air the 4th one first and put it deliberately under-promoted and basically put it, I believe, at the end of their block.
Right. It makes sense for the time slot of the show, but yeah.
But yeah, they decided to basically find a way to get rid of it as soon as possible so they can make room for more Millionaire.
That was the time period of Millionaire. It was. But before we get into the
I'm sorry. Directed by.
Okay,
sorry. Directed by Steve Loader. Story by Paul Dini and Steve Lochner.
Hey, Paul Dini's involved in this?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, teleplay by Paul Dini and David Mandel and Kevin Smith.
Of course.
And Dini also shows up voicing George Lucas.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
That's a sentence, people. If you haven't seen the series in a while, that's a sentence to be said. So, before we get to the episode proper, we have our DVD extra of Jay and Silent Bob entering the Garden of Flowers. And Jay talking about smelling the flowers.
And it's in a delivery that couldn't sound more forced if he tried.
And the fact that he's like, what's it like to be fucking billionaires? Mad bitches and lots of drugs.
I love smelling the flowers in bloom in our fat palatial state. Yeah, it seriously couldn't sound more forced if he tried.
I know.
It's like, this is take 12. I've already had my Jack and Coke. Let's just get this shit over with.
What's funny is it wouldn't surprise me if they filmed like all the intros in a row, and now they're just tired and sick of this already. Yeah. So, by the way, I caught this as we were fading to blot into the episode. Yeah. That Jay looks at Bob like, "Let's go inside," and then it fades. It fades out. Like, that's hysterical. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna let everyone know. Okay. A lot happens in these 22 minutes, and it's very difficult to keep up with. There's so much that goes on here. We're going to try to get through it all.
And if you think it's incoherent, this is before Kevin Smith decided to inhale pot 24/7.
Yeah.
This is stone cold sober Kevin Smith.
This is smoking cigarettes, not pot at this time. So, this is weird.
Oddly enough, I think his stuff after he smoked marijuana actually became a lot more coherent.
Yeah, so, for those wondering, we're starting this recording session, by the way, right in the time period when Jane and Silent Bob Reboot is actually started filming. So that's an interesting time frame we're in right now. This is only like 3 weeks from now. It's not that far from now. But so we start up at the quick stop, and Dante is sweeping, and Randall apparently only rented to 3 people.
Yeah.
But he's reading a magazine called Brainy Chicks, which is hysterical. Not gonna lie.
I love the fact that it's a porno mag that values women for their intelligence.
Well, and they can't. Again, it's at the same time. Oh, I forgot one thing. I'm sorry. I was checking my notes on my phone. We forgot about the intro where they have the whole disclaimer at the beginning of the show, and then the end of this one is that with that in mind, America, let's rise up against our celebrities and make fun of them.
Hear, hear.
I like that one. So Randall says he rented to 3 people today. Yeah. And the tough part is picking the 3 people to rent to, and we cut to the outside where he actually has the doorman checking people in.
A doorman who, for some reason, bears a strong resemblance to Udo Kier and Barbed Wire.
Yeah, so that's that. And he's checking people in, and
and even better, when he's going over the 3 people, I've been waiting for weeks. Okay, you're too fat, you're too insipid. Weren't you Natalie on Facts of Life?
So Randall makes the explanation that RC is a place where they live out their fantasies and dance their nights away. Wait, what?
Apparently he got his job confused with the movie 54.
Yeah, there's a lot of rare references in this episode. But Dante makes the point, RC is a place to rent movies, and then we cut to Disco Granny.
Yeah. Dum Dum!
And that's his club name. And that's we actually hit the beginning of the show.
And if you think this is weird,
we're just getting started.
Lordy, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I still love the drawing in front of into the audience. That makes me laugh every time I hear that line. All right, so this whole starts. Okay, all seriousness, the beginning of this show is like a typical comedy where they're arguing over who can do each other's jobs, and that's fair. It's a typical story.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the Flintstones have done this.
Exactly, it's a typical. You know what? Even if they didn't, they probably. Even if you don't remember, they probably did.
Yeah.
The show was on for a long time. They probably did. Fair enough. But, okay, fine. They're having the same old argument. I can do your job. I can do mine. And then, for some reason, a surgeon dressed up in his scrubs walks in. Like, it makes no sense.
Well, you can never handle the quick stuff. And you can't handle a balloon angioplasty and a collapsed aorta.
How did you remember that? How did you remember that?
I've only had episodes 4 and 2 taped off of TV for a while, so I watched the hell out of it.
Let's try not to take too long going through this because there's a lot to get through.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. How many times are you going to be able to say that outside of this?
Oh, true. Very true. I work in a hospital. I don't even hear that line that often. Cut to the hospital, and they're cutting a guy open. Of course they are. I love the fact that they took the time to show us them getting ready in scrubs. They took the time to show us. That's pretty funny.
Well, hey, proper hygiene.
Exactly. I thought that was pretty funny. So they argue in the car, and they officially trade jobs. And this cuts to Randall makes the point: if I can dress myself, I can open the quick stop.
Yeah. Call me if you have any problems. And as he steps out, you see that he's completely disheveled and somehow lost his pants.
His hair is off his shirt on top. Like, what the fuck is this out there? Like, what happened?
Please. It's about as simple as driving a car. And as he backs out, where are my pants?
Ay. So, 7:59, the phone rings, and Dante is there. Randall is there. Dante is sleeping. And he makes him he asks him to swear and minute the Lord and Master over the quick stop. And then he hangs up.
Which sounds like a hockey thing somehow.
Yeah. Well, then he hangs up, and 1 minute later, the phone rings, and there's a guy there yelling that he's going to burn this place to the ground and piss on its ashes.
But, in TV-appropriate language.
Well, that's actually exactly what he said.
No, although he actually goes, I'm going to burn this place to the ground and pee-pee on the ashes.
Oh, yeah, he did say pee-pee on the ashes. Yeah. You're right. And then you hear chainsaw for no reason whatsoever, and
he tries to say it's Regis.
Well, my point is, here's the chainsaw, and that's where Dante runs out and goes there. And Randall is hiding behind boxes with a shotgun.
Why is it that the scariest part of this is Randall Graves with a shotgun?
I know! You almost takes out Dante's head! Like, what the fuck was that? So then Dante and him clean up the place after they rioted, apparently. There was a riot in 15 minutes.
And even better, no one's going to hurt us. Hurt that. Nobody's going to hurt themselves. Or us. Not on my watch.
Yeah. So they clean up the place. But the problem is there's so much going on. I want to get through the beginning of this. I want to get through the setup. The quick stop. They clean up the quick stop, and Dante asks to become the Lord and Master of the quick stop again, which is funny. And then jaywalk, and then they actually Randall threw a can into the garbage bag, and it flew out and spilled.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And he made a funny joke. And that's when Jay and Bob come in, and Jay slips and falls.
Yeah. I think that stuff just kicked in, Silent Bob.
What the fuck is that joke? What is that joke?
It was a way of them getting their drug use over without being too overt.
So, Burn Boy just fell, and then he wants a pack of smokes for his trouble. If he doesn't give him a pack of smokes, and none of this episode happens, I don't make a note of that.
Pack of smokes for all that mental anguish he went through.
But my whole point is though, give him a pack of smokes, and none of this happens. That's the funniest part about this line. Yeah. You know what I mean? So somehow, Randall is an idiot. Randall's more of an idiot in this episode than normal. I think he might be his dumbest episode. This might be his dumbest episode yet. We still have some episodes to go. he says, well, what are you going to do? Sue us. I'm just going to summarize this. Sue us for $10 million for falling in the store.
Maybe.
And Jay loves this idea. You can see Jay's intrigued.
Yeah.
But, lawyers. Yeah. Are there by the way, who the fuck is Randall talking to when he yelled out, are there any high-powered lawyers in the store? There's nobody else here! There's nobody here! So then a high-powered lawyer pops in.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Somehow got lost in New Jersey on his way to Manhattan.
Yes. And I don't even know what to do here because Randall just won't let it go. That this guy won't take Jay's case.
Yeah.
He won't let it go. So he follows them. And my favorite part is them following him. By the way, this is so not how Jersey roads work.
Yeah.
They're not on the highway. They're on a side street. This is not how this works.
Yeah.
But he goes on the opposite side and he says, with your seatbelts that actually work in your AM/FM radio.
It's such a piece of shit.
What the fuck is going on?
It sounds like the music video for Adam Sandler's Ode to My Car.
I was thinking that. So they follow all the way. They follow all the way to his office, and I do love. I got lost in New Jersey. Of course you get lost. You always lose.
That's why he won't take Jay's case, because you're a loser while he gets himself a cup of coffee in the paper.
What? Wait a point. Why is Dante following him? It makes no sense at all.
Well, he owns the keys to the car, and after Randall's little fiasco with the car.
Touche. But say, you made a point, though, when we were watching this. It was very funny. So, fine, and then we get to, apparently they're now stalking him. Apparently, they're stalking him. And he comes out and says, you in your PJs that fit and underwear with elastics that are so good. Like, what? What does this tell me about Randall's life?
That he shops for underwear at the Goodwill?
What the hell? And he says to take the case, and a whole bunch of people show up for no reason whatsoever and shit. Take the case. Sure, why not? Yeah. And that's what we're doing. And he says, okay, fine. I'll take the case. And it's going to be Jay versus the Quick Stop and Dante Hicks for $10 million because Dante was in charge.
Yeah.
When he
better is initially the two clerks at the Quick Stop, and then Randall immediately throws Dante under the bus.
Ironically, right, and technically Randall doesn't work at the Quick Stop. Technically, he's right.
Yeah. What did I do? Dumb.
Okay, so we cut to the courtroom, and it is the People's Court. Is that what we're doing here?
Of course, they have the People's Court.
Okay, I think this was. Okay, it's been a long time.
It's a prerequisite for your courtroom parody.
They did freaking Family Matters. Like, Family Matters. But
and Boy Meets World.
But they did People's Court. Boy Meets World?
Yeah. Oh no, they did the parody. Eric comes in to defend Corey when his teacher. And you see, he opens his briefcase, he pulls out the tape recorder, and stops the music.
Completely forgot about that. We haven't got that episode. Completely forgot about that. So, and where were we? So we get to the courtroom, and so we do the whole plaintiff thing on the screen. I love the fact that they did the detail here. I do love the fact that they did this stuff. It's funny to me.
And even better is their descriptions of the plaintiff and the defendant.
So it was where was it? I have my notes here.
Okay, here. This is the plaintiff.
He claims in front of me,
He claims that someone poured magic slippery stuff on the Quick Stop floor and then refused to give him cigarettes, even though he had no money. He's suing for $10 million.
And on the screen it says plaintiff confused $10 million. What? That doesn't make any sense.
I remember we had to pause for a good minute because you had to laugh at magic slippery stuff.
We were both laughing so hard watching this back.
Doubly so because it honestly does sound like something Jay would say.
It really is. It's really funny. So Jay just shoots up the devil horns, and then we cut over to the defendant.
This is our defendant, Dante Hicks. His friend Randall says he suffers from chronic nocturnal emissions during which he cries out the name of a heavy-set woman with the receding hairline he always sees at the laundromat.
And on the screen
he's being sued for $10 million.
On the screen it says defendant, fat lady, clerk. What? What?
Even better is Dante's reaction as this goes on.
Oh my god. I love the fact, by the way, they're doing a TV parody, but they can hear what they're saying in the courtroom. It's a great joke. It's a great second layer joke. So, so who's playing the judge here?
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the Honorable Judge Reinhold.
Who's playing the judge, though? Who actually plays
Judge Reinhold.
Oh, Judge Reinhold, okay.
That is honestly...
Okay.
And apparently he was all for this when they showed him the script.
Oh, Mills Lane, by the way, I saw it in the credits. He is doing the actual announcing, which is amazing, by the way. I thought that's a great pull.
Oh, Michael Buffer, too.
Michael Buffer. He's doing the actual announcing. Absolutely amazing. And, It's more, and then he comes out because everyone's laughing at his name.
Yeah.
And it's more laughs that I've had in the High Office.
There's more laughs than he had in Head Office, another movie of his.
Okay. Moving on. Then we have in his notes it says Jay, aka Jay, versus the Quick Stop, and Dante Hicks for $10 million.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is